Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. The NFL draft is over and it's time to start taking a look at some of the updated future odds around the NFL. Some teams that could potentially be some good off-season value around them. And we're taking a look at the NFC North right now, and a team that I think could have some of the better value of any team in divisional future odds from LVH Sportsbook, and that's the Chicago Bears, who right now for their Super Bowl price from LVH come in at 30-1 in the NFC this season to win the Super Bowl going in. Now the Bears really last year were hampered by a ton of injuries, especially on the defensive end of the football, and to Jay Cutler as well. Two things that really derailed them last season, but despite all that, still had an 8-8 season, which actually is pretty commendable compared to the fact that they had a new head coach and their quarterback went down for the last third of the season. But if Cutler's healthy, his season last year was going pretty well before he got hurt. He's on pace for about 3,900 yards and about 28 touchdowns, which is a pretty fair season. And under Mark Trestman for a second year with that offense, with Forte, with Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, those guys are very, very good offensive unit. They have the completely same starting unit on offense as they did from last year, and I think that's only going to help their value this season. And at 30-1, while I don't think they have a lot of Super Bowl value, they could be a team that could be a dark horse in the NFC as we get closer to the season. The NFC odds also at plus 1,500. Not quite sure on those yet, but I do think they could potentially have some value if this defense is remade. Like I said, they spent the entire offseason really remaking this defense, adding a lot of good parts to it. Especially, I like the what their new defensive end combo with Lamar Houston as well as Jared Allen. I think those two are going to cause a lot of havoc on the ends of that line. They've added some depth as well in that position, as well as in the secondary, bringing back both their corners from last year, Peanut Tillman and Tim Jennings, along with drafting of a corner in the first round. So I do think Chicago is making a basis here to be deeper on defense than what they were last season, really combat the fact that they gave up so many rushing yards last year. I don't think that's going to be the same at all this year. I really like their front seven that they're going to put forth this year. And at plus 350, their NFC North odds actually do seem to have a little bit of value coming into this season. I think they are undervalued, especially compared to a team like the Lions, who were only 7-9 last year, who are ranked ahead of them at 3-1 at LVH Sportsbook. And at minus 160, the Packers are very overvalued. Might even be just one or two major injuries away from going back down to about a 500 team like they were last year when Aaron Rodgers was hurt. And even though the Packers will definitely be a very good team, the Bears' chances of upsetting them in this division are pretty good this year and better than what they've been in a very long time. And at plus 350, there's a lot of value, I think, for them to potentially do that this year. But Cutler's got to stay healthy. The defense has to stay healthy. But if those two things happen, Chicago's going to be at least a 10-win football team this year. So that'll do it for the Chicago Bears. Make sure you check out some of my other future odds updates on the other teams around the league. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.